Hello, and welcome to Seattle at Dawn, a Mage the Ascension chronicle. I am tonight's storyteller, Tim Dahlia. Thank you for joining us as we stream new episodes on the Dahlia World Garden Twitch channel every Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific Time. And you can watch our previous and future episodes at the Dahlia World Garden YouTube channel. Links can be found in the description below. If you enjoy what we are doing here, like the video, follow or subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up too. That would be fantastic. You can also click the bell and get notifications when we put out new episodes of Seattle at Dawn. This is a fun episode tonight where our mages have found themselves into a new world, if you will. So without further ado, let us introduce you to our mages. Let's start with, let's see, who do I pick? Let's start with Bill.
Hi, I'm Billie. I like they, them pronouns. I'm playing Charlie Newell, aka Calvin Klein. I say this because Charlie has had to disguise himself physically, has had to like change his body actually, through various potions and such, to make himself hidden from the police because he's wanted for murder. Charlie's a Verbena mage and a mushroom expert. It's been a wild ride for Charlie, over the last couple of months.
Absolutely. And then, he went in to save some other mages recently and found that he had yet another body to explore. Let's move on. Yeah, we'll move on. Hey, Alix. Who are you and what do you play?
My name is Alix. I use they, them pronouns. I am playing Jezebel Spinner. And recently, Jezzy could fly, and that shit was cool as fuck. So now she can't fly, and, that sucks. But there were wings involved. It was great.
All things are possible at Mage. You may find yourself able to fly at some point.
I mean, from spirit horses to actual wings, man, we keep going up.
Exactly. All right. And Cindy.
I'm Cindy, she, her pronouns, and I play Inea Blackwell, who is a Kha'vadi techno shaman who, has been kind of through it with everybody else at this point.
Yes.
I'm trying to think. I think she's kind of probably gotten a little numb at this point. Things just keep happening and she's just rolling with it at this point. It's just like, all right, we can work with what we've got.
Yes. Before we get too far, I have a quick question for you as the player of Inea. And I know that we've discussed a bit about like her internet profile and what she does online. And that she has some access or knowledge of the digital web, which is kind of the mage mirror to the internet. But I was curious, how much experience do you think she's had with that?
I'm going to say okay, so that was her community when she didn't have one.
Okay.
Growing up.
Okay, so does that leads me to believe, or at least in my headcanon here, that she has used, at the very least, sensory connection to the digital web, like VR gear.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Okay. 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. She is as close to being a digital native as it is possible for someone her age to be. So, pretty well.
So that brings up one thing. I apologize. I should have done this earlier, but I had a lot of things on my mind. I just forgot this part. Oops, wrong one. Need to bring up my M20 guide. Because I want to at least see what else they may have experienced. There we go. And you've got 2 in correspondence, is that correct? If I remember correctly?
I only have 1 in correspondence.
Only 1. Okay, so you have visited the digital web via sensory VR gear, but you haven't done like an astral VR gear connection. Okay.
Probably not. She does work with spirits, but probably not in the net.
Right. No, there's a couple different ways to connect to the digital web, which is this kind of the spirit world of the internet. It's the best way I can kind of think of it. It's like it's always kind of been there. It's its own separate world, but there is definitely overlapping connection to the internet that we have invented. And they've kind of grown together. So, but
yeah, she'll probably have only used physical, digital media connections.
But the digital web has been around and growing roughly since the time of Alan Turing and his death, and basically that created what was known as the digital web, and people have been accessing it through VR gear in one way or another since.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, she will have
so
done
you
that.
probably so just for the sake of argument, you definitely will know certain protocols and like things, and we'll go over that if we go to. So,
yep.
That being said and being clarified, the 3 of you found yourselves assisting Griffin Claw in their mission to rescue unknown mages that have been abducted by the technocracy. Who exactly in the technocracy, we're not sure of. The construct that was the central focus of this infiltration seems to house many factions within it. Some of them business fronts for those factions. Some of them may not even be connected to the technocracy, just renting space in that same location. On your way in, you found that the distraction caused by the bridge trolls was effective enough to get mundane guards out of your way. You found and fought a massive saber-toothed tiger. With the aid of Griffin Claw, you escaped said saber-toothed tiger before it could kill all of you. And Griffin Claw did their thing and finished it off. Unfortunately, your infiltration did not go unnoticed by New World Order agents and their shock troopers, if you will, and not allowing you to. Yes, yes, men in DeLoreans. Did not allow you to escape. A firefight ensued, and you jumped into a showroom for Mythiot Games. Turned out there was a holistic converter there. You've run into similar technology. This one definitely more sophisticated, worked faster, didn't seem to cause as much pain, and didn't require an operator. And you found yourselves inside a simulation, particularly a video game simulation for a game known as Melodium. Not out on the market yet, but definitely looks fun. However, it was still a matter of life and death inside the simulation. You saw that there was other people there, not just the group that you came with, and a scenario was enacted, seemingly a script for a end world or an end game boss. It's unclear, but some of the adversaries were bots, but at least one of them was Jolie Jones, who is a game streamer and a fan of Star Wars, and turns out that after he was missing, he somehow found himself here in the body of a Dark Knight. And at first, played along. But then, upon experiencing the pain of actual physical harm, he no longer wanted to play. Against his will, his body was being controlled, and you guys knocked him out, fortunately, seemingly without any considerable damage. And under the direction of your GoPro, who we will probably start calling Pop-Up GoPro, or Papa Pro, or
Papa Pro,
or Proberry, or whatever, something along those lines.
We could go with Proberry.
Proberry. Proberry, in his brownie form, had accumulated information about the simulation and about where you were and how to continue forward. With the shock troopers and men in black entering the game themselves, you escaped after defeating the Empress with some amazing fireballs and stabbings and all sorts of cool shit. This game, I think, will be a bestseller. But Proberry informed you that you have to escape the system. You have to complete the scenario or kill the Empress. And part of that scenario is going to the Void Moon. You enter into this seemingly black hole type thing, and after a moment of non-existence, you feel yourselves recompile. And you are in a white room. And in that white room, you, Jolie, are in a very quiet space. You look over yourselves, and you seem to be much like you perceive yourself to be. Even you, Charlie, are back to what you normally are.
Oop.
Oh, that's weird. That could be a problem.
Yeah.
Definitely a problem.
I mean, assuming that we get out of this room.
Right. Is it just us in this room? Well, us and Jolie.
As far as you can tell, yes, you are the sole individuals in the room. You do notice that Proberry, while still looking like a GoPro, is no longer on your body, but has become detached and is floating near your head.
Is there gravity in this room?
There is.
Like, we're standing on the floor, right?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
I reach out and grab him, and okay, you need to go back here where I can keep track of you and seat him back in the harness.
It's fine. I'll follow you. It's not a big deal. This is great. This is so freeing. So much better than the real world.
You can practice it when we get home. It's new. I'd like you to not accidentally get lost.
Okay. So, what are we doing?
What do we?
Are there
a door?
What kind of?
Yeah,
exits?
let's start exploring the room.
Yeah.
Actually, before we go too far, each of you does feel a bit of pain and a headache. I need each of you to make a soak roll.
You might.
There should be a button at the top that says soak for your character sheets.
And that's what I clicked. Hold on. Input value. No. Submit.
DP mod.
No DP mod.
One success.
I've got 2.
Okay. One success,
I've got
2 success.
4.
Yes, because you have a lot of stamina. Okay.
Yeah, I do.
So, none of you take any damage from the transition from Melodium to this space. You do,
that's good.
however.
Sweet.
You do, however. Okay, yeah. You will suffer dice pool modifier of -2. Actually, no. Your difficulties will go up by 2 for any mental challenges. So let's just keep that in mind.
Okay.
That I will be raising your difficulty for those.
Okay.
Okay. That being said, you're now free to explore the White Room.
So we're feeling a little foggy on the mental front.
Yes, you're feeling foggy on the mental front, and physically, things seem okay. You had a bit of a strange electric flavor in your mouth for a moment, but now, seemingly, no sense of smell. Can't even taste your own saliva. It's just.
Oh Lord, we done got the Rona. Okay.
I could just lick the battery.
If you have a battery to lick, sure.
Thank God.
I mean, I've got batteries, but I don't think we need to be licking my batteries here, so.
No battery licking.
Okay, so exploring the room, what kind of exits can we find? Is there other equipment in the room with us? Is it just a blank white room?
It is mostly a blank white room. However, you do see that there are two sliding doors. One door that's marked lobby, and another that's marked character select.
Okay, so we probably want lobby.
Game. We're still in the game. Okay, lobby. Off to the lobby we go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is Jolie awake?
No, not at the moment.
Okay, so
drag him.
We're gonna have to drag Jolie. I don't remember how big a person Jolie is. Is he?
Good question.
Is he the kind that we could sling an arm over two people's shoulders and heft him out that way?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not. He's about average size, so he's not.
Okay.
He's not terribly large.
Okay.
Or small. He's just right.
The Goldilocks streamer.
Like regular size Rudy?
Yes. Yes, exactly. Just like that. All right, so you guys are looking at the doors and you are deciding to go through to the lobby.
Yep.
Okay. As you walk towards the door, the light above it turns red, and in front of you, Inea, pops up a interface.
Okay. What
The
does
interface
the interface
is
have to say?
asking for the correct access code.
Okay, it looks like we need an access code to get out.
Does it tell me? Does it tell us how many characters are needed for the access code?
It doesn't.
Oh, so it's just a blinking cursor.
You're right.
There's nothing else in this room at all. It's just us and the walls and the doors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are we talking about it just has a number pad, or does it have a full keyboard underneath?
It has a keyboard underneath, and it does seem to follow the same protocols that you've experienced in the digital web. But everything, like as you've experienced the digital web through your VR set, things just tend to pop up, and you can touch them and continue on, and it's similar to a hot link that pops up that usually you can use to travel through conduits, and it reminds you very similarly of that, although this is certainly a restricted sector.
Okay. And there's no indication on the door, on the lobby door, what kind of passcode we're looking for.
Other than that, it is for the Tyson United servers, SRVRZ.
The Tyson United servers?
Mm-hmm. Inea, you would recognize that that phrase, that term, servers. It's essentially what the technocracy uses for their restricted sectors.
Okay.
It'd be valuable to go to character select, or would that just pull us back into the game? In a way
Character-
I assume that would pull us back into the game while selecting characters and then into the game.
Right. It'd probably put us in a character select lobby, and then it's a one-way trip from there back through the game.
Yeah. Well, the only reason I'm asking, if it pulls us back into the game, do you think there's a possibility that the access code would be hidden somewhere in the level?
Unlikely.
That's fine.
Honestly, chances are good that the test subjects would have been given the passcode they'd need to get through here.
Yeah, Jolie would know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
If he volunteered. If he's here against his will, maybe not.
I
We might
tend
need
to
to wake
believe
Jolie up.
it's more likely that he's here against his will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
It can't hurt to ask him when he wakes up,
Oh,
but
of course.
Should we maybe shake him awake or something? Because
we might try to see if we can wake him up. Ouch. Yes, he's decided lap time is now.
Lap time is now. Okay. So, were you guys going to try and awaken the sleeper?
Yes, let's see if we can wake Jolie up.
Okay. He's been de-rezzed. All of you have been de-rezzed here. So, but he did take more damage than any of you earlier on.
Yeah, we kind of kicked the crap out of him because he was trying to kick the crap out of us.
Yeah. So
I kind of stabbed him in the back.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. But his brain is still intact, apparently. So,
we hope. Anyway.
Good thing his brain wasn't in his back.
So you can, of course, do normal methods to try and wake him. You could also do mystical methods to try to wake him. One thing that you would know, Inea, is that in many cases, magic is, as long as you provide some sort of source, a technological source for it, magic is coincidental oftentimes in the digital web, with few exceptions.
Okay.
In fact, you actually do know some of the basic rules of the digital web. And that magic that comes from nowhere is typically more difficult. So if you have a device in the game or in the web that does something, that's typically more acceptable. If you're in a sector where the rules are designed to allow magic like that, it is also more acceptable. There are free zones that are more malleable. There are restricted zones, oftentimes designed for specific purposes, and they have their own paradigms, and those paradigms are more restrictive than sometimes the real world. And they work very much like, if this is what this world is for, then that's what that world is for. The internet, where sleepers usually go to, shop online, watch videos, listen to music, watch porn, whatever. Those are all in usually safe spaces called grid sectors. And you can travel between sectors through conduits. And everybody in the digital web has an icon that they usually will create for themselves that represents themselves. And it's become more sophisticated over the years. It used to be usually geometric shapes with a couple of cool pictures or whatever. Now you've got, CGI, 3D people, all experiencing the digital web in more or less a 3D form. And they can create this. You didn't create your form that you have on right now. So you're not quite sure what's going on with this.
Okay.
Um,
I'm not 100% sure we're actually entirely out of the game. I mean, I've got this interface that suggests that we're still in a portion of it, a waiting room, an exit lobby, sort of hard to know.
No, I think we're definitely still in it.
That makes sense, because that might explain why I look the way that I do right now.
You're appearing as your own mental image of yourself rather than the image that you were putting out. Or that you changed yourself to fit.
Papa Pro joins in, and all of you can hear him. Yeah, of course. We all look like we want to look.
Wait a minute, Papa.
What?
Why am I calling you that?
Well, because that's my name now.
Okay. So,
I mean, I absorbed the information, and I am now Papa Berry. Well, Pro Papa Berry. I don't know. We'll workshop it.
Pro Berry. I like that. Pro Berry.
Cool. Pro Berry. My new name is Pro Berry. Yes. Now, what do you want?
You said you absorbed information. Did you get anything about passcodes to get out of the lobby? Or to get into the lobby, even?
Oh. Yeah. Let me see. And he pops out of the harness on your chest and floats over, and you see as he floats over, little thin arms and legs grow out of his sides, and small little black hands as well, with 3 fingers instead of 4.
You look like a Ghibli creature.
Sure, why not? I don't know what that means. And he goes up to the screen, and he starts typing in And he's like, yeah, I got some of the access codes because whoever put in that module must have done it recently. Didn't quite get all the security protocols in there. And he hits the enter button, and the sliding doors open up.
Okay. Okay. Let's haul Jolie with us.
As you start like lifting Jolie, he like starts kind of getting up by himself. He's like, what's going on?
Forward
Where are
march,
we?
kid. Let's go. Come on.
Come on. We got to get out.
Get out what? Get out what? We're in
Plane
oh man,
later,
why is it
just
so
come
bright?
on. Oh my god. We don't have time for this.
It's very bright where you're at. And as
Well,
you
it's a
open
white room.
as you walk out of the white room, you find yourselves in a very large facility. It is come on. There we go. The four of you. There's lots of open space. There's actually other people here as well. It's not just you. And you are finding that it's very sterile here. People are walking in very straight lines and always somewhere to go. And you see some of them walk in the doors, and you see a bit of a flash of light, and they're gone.
Oh my god, we're still in the web.
We on their server?
Where is Proberry?
Floating by you.
Yeah, we're still in the digital web.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so
where else
we're
we
in the lobby, or at least headed towards the lobby of this system.
Yes.
Yeah, you are in the large central meeting place of the construct, but in the digital web.
This is dangerous.
Yeah.
And Proberry looks at you and is like, yeah, it is dangerous.
So
that's part of the fun, right?
Oh my god, which way is out?
So we're looking for a conduit, and we...
Jolie's just like, this is weird.
Yeah,
why is it so
really
bright?
Is. It's bright because it's not real. Well, it's
not physical.
It's not. It's digital. That's why.
I know what's going on.
Almost like being inside of the network. This is really interesting, but with like buildings and shit instead of forest.
What do you think is going on, Jolie?
I think I'm still asleep, and this is like a weird ass dream. Have you heard of lucid dreaming? I always wanted to see if I could do it.
You know what? Sure, let's go.
Maybe
with that.
We'll go with that for the moment.
Who are you guys?
Don't worry about it, man. Just stay with us and keep walking.
Hey, my name's Charlie.
Charlie. Yeah, I read that you're not supposed to be able to meet people that you've never met before in a dream. I don't think I've ever met.
Well, technically, if you see us on the street, then we qualify, right? What if we were at the bus stop or something?
Sure. I guess that makes sense.
Nay.
Okay. Nay, Charlie.
I'm Jezzy.
Jezzy, nice to meet you.
Yes.
Well, this is neat.
So,
and
yeah.
I'm really bad at giving my false name, aren't I?
Yes, you are.
you have a false name?
You still look like you, so it's all good.
Technically counts.
It's sort of correct under the circumstances.
Now, Inea, you understand that everything here, everybody who is here, is represented by an icon. And the icons are malleable. You can change them.
Okay, so how do we check the icons that have been applied to each of us?
Well, you can see yourselves, and you can change an icon it does require some manipulation and computer skill. And you can change your appearance and or intimidation by changing your icon.
I'm wondering if it's worth taking the time in a corner somewhere to change our appearances. You said everybody looks pretty
You look
similar.
pretty much the same as you normally do. However, you notice for you that some of your defaults for your standard icon are also there. So like anything that you don't normally have in the real world that you have on in the digital web is now there as well. So you have a default icon and you actually are in that form.
Okay.
Whereas Charlie and Jezebel, they are exactly like they normally are.
Okay, so their idea of themselves that they have carried into the game with them has followed them out into the digital web that we're standing in right now.
Yeah, without having a preset, they kind of defaulted here. That's your presupposition there.
Okay.
So yeah.
But you said the people around us.
The people around you, you notice that most of them they're wearing very standardized clothing. Everything is pretty much as you would expect to see it in the digital web. Things are a little bit more plastic, a little bit more angular. Nothing is exactly one for one to the real world. Whereas the three of you look very real.
Okay, so I think we need to spend some time, make some alterations before they come barreling through looking for us.
Yeah.
A couple of the passerbys kind of give you a couple of glances because you do stick out a bit. But apparently not enough to cause any alarm at this point.
Okay. Is there a place where we can kind of get out of the main view of everybody and their brother and make those changes?
Yeah, you look around and you see that there is a couple of like open offices. Oddly enough, you see no signs for restrooms.
That makes sense.
Digital bodies don't need to pee.
Yeah, there's no elimination involved in digital bodies except if we really want to push it in the form of code.
There's something that's really bothering me right now is where is my physical body and what's going on with it?
Yes, that bothers me a lot actually at this point. Except that it's the digital web, it's not the standard internet. That
Okay.
Okay.
What is that?
What is what?
You didn't hear that?
What, the thing that said excuse me?
Yeah.
Oh, it was my phone. That's GLaDOS.
It's Proberry.
It's
what I
GLaDOS
thought.
excusing its.
I thought maybe that's what it was.
I should get a voice for Proberry eventually. Anyway. So yeah, you find that there is a side office. Again, this is designed as a grand meeting hall for all the conventions. And so spaces almost like magic create themselves for purposes.
Okay. Okay. I'm finding my feet now. Yeah, I'm gonna pull everybody aside into one of the spaces.
Okay.
And I'm gonna see if I can get the windows to opaque so we can't be seen from the corridor.
You can try accessing the room's controls. And when you walk into the room, a small panel appears in front of you, floating. Give me a computer and intelligence roll.
I was absolutely the wrong window there for a second. Intelligence and computer. There it is.
Computer.
Okay, DP mod?
No DP mod. Difficulty 7, however.
Two successes.
2 successes is enough to convince the room that you have the authority to block observation.
Okay. That done. I'm going to start accessing icons. I'm going to start with mine to try and, do my experimentation on myself first.
You're not going to experiment on Jolie first.
I'm not going to experiment on Jolie is still confused and thinks he's dreaming, so we're not going to play that game.
He keeps walking around the room touching things. It's like, this feels so real. If you're going to attempt to change your icon, that's a manipulation plus computer roll, difficulty 5.
Two successes.
Okay. So you can change your appearance to almost anything that you can imagine. You do have those 2 successes, which means you can either add 1 to your appearance, making social roles involving appearance, having that extra 1, or you can add 2 to appearance, or each success you can add to either appearance or intimidation if you wanted to be like if you wanted to craft yourself to look like a dragon or a wolf, depending on where you're at. Now here, I wouldn't suggest a wolf.
I was going to say, in this particular situation, I think we want to blend in as much as possible.
But you can use those 2 successes to either be intimidation and or appearance for the purpose of where you're at. So whatever you would consider to be more attractive here or more intimidating here.
Which do we want? You can pick. Do you want to look more attractive, more comfortable to your onlooker, or do you want to look a little bit more scary to them?
I think I'd rather be more comfortable.
Okay. And that actually makes a lot of sense for you. Charlie.
This is,
I mean, I know I'm working on mine. I know I'm working on mine, but when I get to theirs, I want to know for theirs.
Yeah.
Because I'll still have to roll for each of them.
Well, they'll have to roll for themselves.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So I'm not going to be able to access their icons?
Yeah, you cannot change another's icon.
Okay.
But you can teach them the methods that they will be able to change theirs. They're not going to be as good at it as you.
Okay. Okay. Crash
Which means we
course.
won't be able to do it for Jolie, so we'll just have to teach him how to do it and hope that he can believe that he can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, this doesn't require magic. This is just a feature built into the digital web.
So, hey, Jolie, you want to come over here? We're gonna try something.
What's going on? Is this secret stuff?
I don't know about secret, but we probably don't want to stand out too much right now. We want to be able to move around without without really being seen too easily. So
I hear
that
you.
said, I'm gonna walk them through, and Nay is gonna go for intimidation.
Okay, so we'll get you 2 extra points in intimidation for the time being.
Yep.
Okay. So that'll just any intimidation roll will have a dice pool modifier of 2.
Okay.
With this icon in this space. Sorry, caveats.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna walk them all through the process.
Okay. Each of you, an interface box pops up near your face.
Okay.
In your face box.
Boom, baby.
Well, maybe like a few feet away. But
right.
Boom, baby.
Within arm's reach.
Yeah. Exactly. And Inea walks you through the access protocols and where to access your icon and change it. So each of you will make a manipulation plus computer roll. Some of you don't have any computer.
0 income pooper.
But you can still use the manipulation portion of it. And each success will allow you to change your icon.
Difficulty 6.
Difficulty 5.
Oh,
Whoops. I did that wrong. Cancel that.
I would have had 2, but I got a 1. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
Like,
so you, Jezebel, are able to change your appearance to look more like the surrounding environment. You're less you see the change in yourself and and in Inea as your body seemingly is less fleshy and more plasticky, and your joints are more angular, and there's not as much roundness to everything. It's not much of a difference. You still seem like yourself. You still feel like yourself. You just look a little more plastic. But with
what was the difficulty on that?
5.
Sorry.
A single success, you don't get any benefits beyond just you look like you belong in the area.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Same thing for you, Charlie. You change your physical appearance however you want. You can look like Calvin Klein if you want. But that's
probably a good idea.
You are a digital version of Calvin Klein. There we go. Now, Jolie, he has to kind of do this for himself as well. He does have some computer and manipulation. He is a Twitch streamer. He actually knows a few things here and there. He's like, this is so weird. A dream where I have to pretend I'm a computer person? And
well, just assume that we're playing a game and, we're your party members.
This is like that spy game. Maybe you have to suss out which one of you is the spy. Thinking about it. And as he's talking and as he's, punching in the parameters for his icon, he becomes a very attractive looking plastic man.
Okay.
I went with the appearance option because I think that's going to be appropriate here. I mean, I don't know how the stream's going to go, but it could go many different ways. I'm in
Yeah, I don't
control
think
here.
you. I don't think
I'm
you
in
want
control
it to.
here.
You don't want it to go like that. Okay, so
He keeps touching the table. He's like, "This is so real."
yeah. Okay. Jesse, do you think you can kind of keep him with us as we go? Because
Jolie,
Hey.
I have an idea. Why don't you and I hang out while these two, lead the way? You can tell me about your dream.
Sure, fantastic. But yeah. So I've been having some nightmares recently. I'm hoping that we don't run into that tonight. But anyway, yeah, good times, good feels.
Good vibes only, bro. We got
Yeah.
this.
okay, so I think it's everybody's gone through their changes.
Mhm.
I don't see any reason to reset the room, but we can go now. So
Okay. And that's where we're going to take our first break. And I will be right back.
okay,
Yeah.
that's actually an excellent idea.
No
Yeah, I
worries,
think
I'll-
I'm going to take my contacts out, put my glasses on.
That's a fair point. Okay, so we'll come back here in a few minutes. Anyway.
So at this point, we don't really have any indications of what the method was to put us on the digital web, into the game, any of that.
Other than walking through the door and finding yourself in the game.
Right. Which actually doesn't tell us a lot.
No. The only thing you do recognize that it did have some similarities to the encounter with Winston.
Right. With Brad.
Brad and Winston, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the woman that got hit with a paradox.
Yes. I believe her name was Penny.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you're now in the large lobby for the Tyson United servers. What are you doing?
You said the people were moving around like in fairly orderly lines, like they were following.
Yeah, they've got their icons and they're moving in this space. The space's physics are very similar to that of the material world, but it's just a little off. It's not quite perfect. And so, every once in a while there's a bit of a slide on their icons or something, a little bit of lag.
Biggest problem is I don't know what I'm looking for, so I don't know where to go to look for it.
That is always an issue.
We should probably just get away from that lobby door, at least for the moment.
Yeah.
Just start looking around, see what we find.
Yeah.
You find, all of you, actually, especially you, Charlie. You have a pretty good sense of the space around here. Everything you can kind of feel. It's almost as if your mystical connection and understanding of correspondence is stronger here. And all of you would be able to cast effects at 1 dot higher than what you currently have.
Correspondence effects?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Still within the paradigm of, this sector, but anywhere on the digital web, you get a little bit more connection with correspondence, a little bit more with forces, and a little bit more with prime. All of you. So those 3 you can consider having 1 more dot in them.
Nice.
Doesn't mean much. Most of you don't have a lot in forces.
Yeah, as long as we're in this space.
Yeah. But you start feeling those connects. Like, you've already mystically connected to some of these forces as you've researched your life as a mage. You just kind of have a little bit more of a epiphany moment of how things like this could work. The theoretical of your next extension is actually a little closer to your touch.
Okay, so as we're moving through the space, Inea is trying to keep an eye out for exits, clues, to their what their real condition is. Because, if this is purely a mental translation, we have to worry about where our physical bodies are. If it's something more than that, then we need to be worried about where we're going to come out and in what condition.
And how. It is you will definitely note that it is a rote or an effect that you would not even know where to start. How would it be done? You walk around the lobby a bit, and you come across essentially a directory that can point you towards different connections, different conduits. And all the conduits in this space seemingly go to different businesses for this construct. So, for example, you would find that there is a conduit for near water organizers and a conduit for Providence Life Solutions. They seem to be a genetics lab. There's another place for actually Tyson United Real Estate has a conduit here, as well as Exciting Progressions and Variable Escapades. Seems to be a travel agency.
Tyson United Real Estate, wasn't that the name of the real estate company in the building where we were doing all of this?
Correct. And this is the Tyson United servers lobby.
Right. So the question I'm mulling, and I kind of pull them all closer to the directory and point.
Yeah.
So there's the possibility. I have to be honest. I have been in spaces like this before, but not in this manner. I don't know if we're actually physically here or not right now. What I'm wondering is if we want to try the Tyson United real estate conduit, so that maybe we find an outlet back into the real world somewhere near where we came in, or do we try something that might be further away?
Yeah,
Hey,
it's kind of the evil that we know versus the unknown.
exactly. I don't know how this works, and I have no idea whether that Tyson United real estate portal is or conduit is going to have what we need to get back out into meat space or not.
Right. And does that mean that we would come out the door that we went in, or someplace else? We don't know.
Proberry, do you have any information on any of this?
Well, I've got information about this particular servers, and that they're all businesses that are connected to one another, and that I mean, I'm honestly I'm kind of curious about the variable expeditions. That sounds fun. We could go and maybe they have like rockets into space or something there. I'd be down with that. But how to get out? It's pretty heavily locked down. The idea is not to be able to let things in or out.
That's what worries me.
There a way for you to tell whether or not we're physically here? Would you know that?
I'm physically here. I don't know about you.
That's why that's even a concern for me, because he's here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's nice to meet you, by the way, Alix. And you too, Charlie.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
Yeah. I've always wanted to say hi for a long time, but no mouth.
That sometimes makes communication difficult. Is there a way to reach, to try to... I'm just trying to figure out if there's a way to figure out what if one of these particular exits would be, if it is an exit, if one of them would be weaker than another one, in an attempt to, if we're going to have to crack our way out of here, would one of these seem like an easier target than another? I mean, real estate seems less, like it may be less guarded than, genetic engineering.
Right.
Yeah.
Or
True.
even virtual experiences or whatever that vacation company thing is.
Yeah. You could, because you do have that interface, you could try to use it to create an effect that would still be within the parameters, the protocols of this sector, using the interface of the building to basically cast effects. And it would be, so like if you wanted to use correspondence to suss out the space and its integrity, then you could do that.
Yes. Yeah. That's, and that's kind of what I was thinking is, why don't, if I can do the same thing that I do with reaching out to the, mycelial network, in a, like you said, feeling out the space around me, because in this digital network.
Right. Okay. Alix, you had something to say? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking this is probably silly, but I have to ask. If for your form right now, the items that you have on you, are all of them the same as what you had when you came in here? Is there anything on your physical body that you have that you don't have on your digital body?
Okay, so I mean, what I have on me now corresponds with what I had on me the last time I was in here. It's my standard loadout for problems. I don't spend a lot of time in here. What I had on me, no, it's not the same. It's actually a lot lighter. I mean, Proberry here is probably the only thing that I didn't have on my original icon that it came with me.
Yeah. All the stuff that you had physically is here with you, as well as your icon.
Okay. So it's in addition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So not the same, but I do have what I had on me.
Yeah.
Plus some.
Yep. All your instruments and foci you would have.
Okay.
The only reason I'm asking is because I was thinking, if you have a device on your physical body that you can connect to through your digital body, through however you do that, that might be a way to figure out whether or not our physical bodies are someplace else.
And I reach for my cell phone.
Okay. Yeah, your cell phone is there. Yeah. And what do you plan to do with your cell phone?
Pop open my map and see where the map indicator is, suggests that I am.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. This is this would be a correspondence effect.
Okay.
Normally you would be able to, you have one in correspondence, so you do have that kind of similar correspondence sense of like spaces around you, but
and I'm behaving as though I have two correspondents right now.
Yes.
Okay.
So you could do some more powerful correspondence effects. Charlie, for example, with his normal 3 correspondence, can teleport himself. But here, given if he's working within the correct protocols, could open up a gateway to open up and go to a different space for all of you. It would be, again, depending on how he does it, there would be things going on there. So same thing with you. You can probably pull up a map of this area, and it would be not much different than the directory that you have that points to you are here.
Okay.
If there was something else you wanted to do with that.
I'm actually going to attempt to send a text off to first to Griffin Claw to let them know that the 3 of us are together and we have Jolie Jones.
All right.
And hope that that gets through. And also include the information that we seem to have gotten trapped in the digital web and we're working our way out. Okay. Attempting to work our way out.
I forgot to mention the 4th way that you can enter the digital web earlier. There are some places in the spirit wilds that you can climb to get into the digital web.
Okay. I was going to ask about that and got distracted and didn't. Okay, that makes a big change.
You can fit. It's a more difficult challenge than it sounds. It's hard to climb like that. Yeah.
Ouch.
However, so you send your text off. No immediate response, but it's out.
Well, I wasn't sure that I could get an immediate response because Griffin Claw might be busy still. That said, I am going to send a text message to Jessie's aunt Mabel.
Okay.
And see if I can get a more immediate response.
Okay.
Just something like test. Can you, or did you receive this?
Okay.
Because I so don't want to panic that poor woman.
Understood. You send out that text and you don't get a response, but the lighting in the lobby changes. And the lights turn red and there is a siren that starts going off.
Shit.
That you don't know what for, but the coincidence is astounding.
A bit much. Yeah, it's a bit much. Okay, so let's get away from here. See if we can find another room that we can stop in for a second.
Yeah, I would like that because
Talk.
if I can sit down and meditate, I feel like I can try to like reach out and feel the space and figure out if there's some place that we can get through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we can turn that off as well.
Yeah, let's go do that.
All right. So where are you looking to go?
Another room like the office that we were in earlier that I can opaque so that we can't be easily seen.
So staying in the main lobby. Okay.
For now,
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to get out of easy view.
Right. Okay. Everybody give me a dexterity and stealth roll.
This is where I get to fall flat on my face again, huh?
Ooh.
Sure. Difficulty
no,
6.
don't agree with me like that, Tim.
I mean, if you want to fall down on your face,
I do
won't
not
stop
wish
you.
to fall on my face.
Okay.
Just, every time you have me rolling stealth and it really matters, Nay has not been terribly stealthy.
No problem. Let's see. So Charlie's got 3. Jesse's got 4.
Okay.
Nice.
Slack of me.
I'm
Jolie's
sorry,
like,
what
holy
did you
shit,
say
what the fuck? Oh, go ahead.
What did you say the difficulty was?
6.
Three.
Oh,
Okay.
We are
Jolie,
sneaky.
you are being very sneaky.
Oh, I forgot about Jolie. It is not official yet.
Mr. Wide-Eyed Fawn.
Who's been like every person that's walked by, he's been like, what? Just really digging this dream.
my goodness.
And then this alarm goes off. He's like, oh my God, what? Is it coming again? It's coming for me again? 2 successes. So he's like, oh shit. Calm down, Jolie. You got this.
Please, yes.
And he
calm down.
follows you guys into the room. All of you feeling relatively secure in your stealthiness to avoid any detection from onlookers.
Okay. So now I would like to, I don't want to say seal it up, but make it so that it's harder to see us so that we're not visible easily from outside.
Okay. Yeah, that's strictly just manipulation and computer.
That was the wrong one. There it is.
And I want to sit down and begin meditating and working on that spell.
Okay. You find as you get yourself in a space for meditation, a computer screen and interface pops up near you.
What was the difficulty on my roll?
6. No, 7.
Okay.
Sorry, my bad. 7.
Two successes.
Okay. Yeah. It still recognizes that you have authority to remain unseen or unobserved by the system.
Mm-hmm.
So the blinds, the glass itself actually goes opaque. So. And Charlie, you are looking to do some meditation to connect to this network. So
But can I meditate one-handed?
well, the interface it's largely
I'm gonna have to type with the other hand.
Oh, okay. Because I had questions. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I had questions.
There was some questions floating around here.
We're all adults here. It's fine.
No, I'm pretty sure we're all about 12.
Okay, so with this, you're going to use your meditation skills in combination with this computer interface. I'd say
it's an advantage and a disadvantage.
Yeah, I'm going to say perception plus meditation, but the difficulty instead of being 6 is going to be 8 because your brain has already been scrambled and will remain so for probably the next 30 minutes from the D-res. There's a soft derez and a hard derez. You guys went through a soft derez.
Which is we came out of a virtual space into another virtual space.
Basically a respawn point, yeah.
I'm sorry, I was in the middle of building that. Now, what was the difficulty and such?
Difficulty is going to be 8.
Okay.
Getting high in those difficulties. But you got a pretty large perception.
We got a lot of dice.
Okay, so those 3 successes. Those 3 successes will aid you in the difficulty of the... Basically, you're attuning yourself to this network, and your perception, you find that this actually isn't too dissimilar from the mycelial network.
Oh, good.
Everything kind of has a bit of a feel that it's touching all spaces around, and that there is connection to all. It's the most unusual experience you've had with a computer ever. Normally, you don't want to touch these things.
Yeah, I have people that do this for me.
Exactly. But you begin feeling out with your correspondence perceptions. What exactly what's the effect you're going for?
I'm looking I want to get a sense of the space so I can find, first of all, if there are natural exits, and how they're, I'm assuming that they're going to be, if there are natural exits, that they're going to be like encrypted or blocked in some way, locked in some way.
Right.
And if there aren't natural exits, if there's a way to create one.
Okay. Go ahead.
Actually, kind of both. Even if there are, it might be easier just to create my own.
Okay. So yeah, you are reaching out with essentially correspondence 4. I would say make an irritate roll. The difficulty is, let's see, 4 plus 7. However, because you have attuned to this network fairly well, the difficulty is dropped to 4, and that's as low as it's going to get. So 4. And it is coincidental because you are essentially connecting to the security systems here.
Okay, and the DP mod, is that going to be 4 because I have 4 in correspondence?
No,
or is it
it's
just
still 0. Yeah,
still 0. Okay.
Yeah.
And
you can spill willpower for an automatic success, if you wanted to do that as well.
Let me look at my... Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So you spend your willpower, you roll your 3 irritatory, difficulty 4. Not bad because of the meditation.
Whoops, not difficulty 64. That would be difficult.
Don't do that.
Getting into the hardcore threshold rules. All right, 2 successes. You immediately feel the connecting sectors and the conduits between all of them. You learn that there are, in every case of the different rooms connected to the different businesses, that there are VR terminals there for extraction. However, there's only one facility capable of holistic immersion or extraction, and that is where you came from. You also, with the 2 successes, get a sense that while this is a technocratic server and therefore heavily locked down, that there is still conduits to the digital web as a whole that you can find.
Now, would I know, like, if we were to go not out of the door that we came in, but into, out of this area and into the vaster digital web, I mean, would there be another way to get out? I mean, would I know that? I mean, I'm guessing that Charlie probably wouldn't know that, but
I would say, let's see, let me look here.
it just seems like this kind of tech is the kind of thing that Charlie didn't necessarily know existed.
It's a little beyond your ken for sure.
So knowing that knowing that you're even able to do this, I don't know that he would know if other doors existed. I mean, you'd have to assume that other doors exist if this one does, but like, could I find them and could I access them once I'm outside, into a much larger network?
Right. You get a sense that this is like different boxes all kind of piled into different boxes and adjacent boxes, and that you're in a very specific part of a formatted web, but there are other places to go. And if you got in here through one door, you may find another door in a different box. Surely you're not the first people to have done this. In fact, you, from your own experience, have seen similar magic tech be used.
Okay, that seems like dangerous, but I think it's just as dangerous to go back out the way that we came in.
What with that lady in the weird metal hands? No, I don't want to go back there. I mean, she was hot, but not worth it.
Oh no. I mean, not back into the game. I mean,
I don't think that we should go back the way that we came, but there
Out through
was
the-
mention of holistic immersion.
So out through the equipment that we came in through is the first option, which effectively puts us right back in reach of these technocracy assholes.
yes, and it seems like the other option is out of this intranet and into the wider internet and see if we can find another portal out.
Good use of 90s terms. I like that.
Hey, if we're talking 97, let's continue with that theme.
Which puts us
back when I knew computers.
Which puts us who knows where when we come out. But might also be safer.
Be better to be who knows where than exactly where we know where we are.
Where we know where we are, but
I don't know that I necessarily agree with that, but I kind of agree with that.
I mean, going back, we know that's dangerous. But going elsewhere, we don't know. We don't know anything about elsewhere.
How common do you think, Nate, these the door that we came in, how common do you think they are?
Holistic immersion is not
you seem to know more about internet stuff and like this kind of digital world than I do. So
Holistic immersion is not terribly common. It takes an awful lot to manage. So I don't know how they did it with a bunch of random schmoes like us. And not just us, Jolie and whoever else was in there with him.
it just seems like the thing that would cost I don't know, a fuckload of money.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I don't know. They gave me, some money. I mean, they paid me to, walk in a door, and it was pretty cool. I mean, it was like the holodeck. It's like, have you ever seen
Oh,
Star Trek? It was kind of like that. It's weird.
that makes sense. That makes
That's
sense.
all
That
Tivoli.
feels a bit like where we're at now, but
I didn't think we had that technology. That's amazing, man.
So that's the
Man.
problem exactly. The technology is not terribly common. And probably mostly in technocracy hands too.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So Jolie,
This is great. Man,
what's
you guys
the deal
are so real.
with you dropping your Twitch channel the way you
What?
did?
I don't really want to talk about it. It's kind
Was
of
it
scary.
related to those folks that were paying you to go through that door?
No. They were going to help me with the dreams.
Were there
Yeah,
owls in your dreams?
No, the owls. That's weird. I mean, no owls, but yeah, just scary stuff. This is, like I said, I've been working on like this lucid dreaming thing because that was terrible, and I thought it was a psychotic break, but they told me it was not real, and that I wasn't as far gone as some others that they've worked with, but no, it was just didn't seem real. This doesn't seem real, but it's real. It's fun. Maybe there's something wrong with my brain. Huh. Okay. I don't want to talk about it.
You sure about that?
No, man. I want to see what goes on here. This is more exciting and way cooler than flying eyeball thing. So no, this is better. So let's go.
Okay.
Fine eyeball thing.
out of character note, I just it just dawned on me, oh yeah, Jolie's not awakened.
Oh shit, you're right.
He is a sleeper, and he is also under the
Like,
same mental fog that you guys are. His brain's not working.
I think his brain is working less than any of ours is, though.
No, he's like, yeah, this is so trippy. It's kind of like Tron.
Oh my goodness.
I like
Let
that
me
movie.
say Tron.
All right.
If
So
the majority of the technology to get out of here is in technocracy hands, or in the hands of somebody with a fuckload of money, do we know anyone who has a fuckload of money?
there's also, and you would all three of you would recognize this, that there are the Mercurial Elite, or what was once known as the Virtual Adepts, and the Society of Ether. In the 9 mystic traditions, they definitely dabble more with technology as magic. And Inea, you are also kind of that techno shaman. You do have more of an animistic point of view, but you also recognize that the digital web, for all its technological trappings and attachments, it is a mystical place, theorized to have always been here. And Jezzy, you would recognize that there would be similarities to the mystical Mount Oif. You have a couple of members that you've met in the Cult of Ecstasy that have dealings with the Ali Batin and their beliefs about connectivity and correspondence, and particularly the legend of Mount Oif.
Mount Oif.
Yes, a point of correspondence that is touching everything and nothing at the same time, which to Charlie feels like the mycelial network.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about the mycelial network, is that information is in all places at once.
So you're in your safe house for the moment. I would caution you not to get too comfortable. Josie's like, so what's the plan? Gonna do some Mission Impossible stuff?
Oh.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
We're hoping to kind of sneak our way out of this building. And
right.
Whether that be completely, I think you're right. I think that both of you are right. And I was kind of leaning that way myself, that we should just try to get out of what I would consider lockdown and into a more free space, and go from there and try to find friends from there.
All
yeah,
right.
we can do that.
Bum, 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 bum.
Oh.
Do-do-do.
How about this? How about Jolie? Hey, buddy. So how about when we leave here, like, you can hum it as much as you want while we're in here, but when we leave, it's Mission Impossible time, so we have to be quiet.
I got you.
Okay.
This will be great.
Yeah, this is the briefing room, and once we're out of the briefing room, we're in the mission.
Yes.
Fantastic. This gives me so many good ideas for my stream. Okay, cool. Let's do it. Maybe I'll have a dream section. I'll talk about dreams. Yeah, you know what? I'll get back on my feet. We'll talk about dreamscapes, lucid dreaming. I'll look into that. I'm gonna do some more research.
That sounds cool, man.
Okay, well, let's see if I can use my connection to create a portal out into the wider digital space.
Okay. Yeah. So
Cool.
you're looking to do an effect called popping. And there's a pop prog effect that you've got the ability to do if you want to try and do so. You can, well, I'll let you figure it out. Everything is connected, and you have access to this network that you've become somewhat friendly with. So the question is, do you want to explore the building, or do you want to actually create a hot link to another sector?
Well, my idea was to create a hot link to another sector, basically to make the door to this room become a door to the outside.
Okay. Yes.
Kind of reprogram that door so it's no longer a door to the hallway, it's a door to
Okay.
outside
well, that's
of
certainly
this
within
little network.
Yeah. That's certainly within the purview of this technological space. And he who controls correspondence controls the internet. So it's like the spice, but better. um, go ahead and go ahead and give me a manipulation and computer roll. Because I mean, you don't necessarily have a computer, but you're still trying to manipulate the computer to work with you, or not necessarily the computer, but the space.
Mm-hmm. Difficulty.
7. Yeah, it's not changing your icon, so. Good. 1 success. All right.
Yay.
So, you type into the parameters, and you're kind of going back to some old, ideas in terms of what you can write, but coding language isn't quite the same in the digital web. It is more intuitive and more forgiving of your individual trappings. So, working with the network, I would say it's to turn the door into a gateway to function as a hot link for the 4 of you would be still a coincidental. No, it's a vulgar effect still. So difficulty 8. But you can lower that difficulty by 1 because of the manipulation roll. So difficulty is 7. Obviously, you could still spend quintessence here if you wanted to lower the difficulty more.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's spend a quintessence. And use a willpower for an automatic success.
Okay.
And let's see, go back up and do my arete. So would that make the difficulty 6?
Going from 7 down to 6 with 1 essence? Yeah.
Yeah. Two plus the 1 for my
3 successes.
willpower.
Okay. Let me just check the charts here.
I think that worked out even better than I could have hoped.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So
At least level of successes wise.
Well, you've got 3 successes. You're opening up a gateway, which costs as an additional. Instead of just requiring 1 success for your own body, it's 2 successes that are required. And then the additional success opens up the gateway. It goes somewhere, but you're not exactly sure where. You didn't spend time to try and suss out your location. of where you were going. You just kind of, you don't, it's basically, it's the same as if you got a lot of successes, you could go someplace that you're less familiar with. But you're kind of in a more familiar area. So you walk, do you guys walk through the door?
This door should take us out, at least outside of this network. So now that I've got it that way, are you ready?
I think that's the most important piece. So yeah, let's go.
Okay. So the four of you walk through the door and you find yourselves going through the conduit. Space and time just kind of fly past you, and you see streaks of digital code and lines, and but you end up walking into what appears to be a Jules Verne styled bar. You're still in virtual space. You can't smell or taste anything. You still have your icons where you're more plastic than flesh. You didn't get quite enough successes to escape the construct, but you have gotten to a location that is similarly close to a conduit outside to the digital web. And as you walk into the door and you see standing in this space two individuals, each of them wearing particularly strange outfits and gear. And the one in the mask, well, they're both wearing masks. The one with the eyes covered and the hoodie, the one in the hoodie, looks at the four of you and like, what the fuck are you doing here? You fucking shit ticklers. What the fuck are you doing here?
Shit ticklers?
Wait
Where the
a
hell
minute.
did you learn how to curse? Preschool? Oh my god.
Wait a minute. We know somebody who curses like that.
Holy fuck, it's Techie Pesci. Oh, fuck me running.
Is his name like is it like Hamilton or something like that?
Winston.
Winston.
Good lord. Good fucking lord.
What the fuck are you do? 3, 4. There's 4 of you now.
Yeah, we've been making friends.
You don't make friends easy.
It's a long story, but anyway.
You're gonna fucking blow. Hi.
We're just passing through, man.
Yeah.
Did you cause all the alarms? I thought that was me.
It was probably you, which fucked us over, so thanks.
No, it wasn't me. Now that I realize that you fucktards are here.
Oh, God.
We were already inside their system for a while.
Wait a minute. Four successes. He walks over to you, Inea, and like pushes on your shoulder. He's like, holy fuck. You guys left hamburger country.
Yeah, we did.
Wow. And you're here? Man, that's gotta be rough.
Not by choice.
Well, you guys gotta go find yourself some grid sector quick. Get the fuck out of here.
You point us there?
Well, I was here looking for some iron, you know.
No.
Think you could help?
Don't know.
Well, okay, so you guys ruined my last iron tooth that I had. And so now I'm here. By the way, Penny, say hi. Hi.
Okay, so she was running. She's the
Oh.
one that was running your rig.
Yeah, hi, Penny.
Hi.
Oh,
So, Iron. You're talking about the system?
God, fucking noobs. Okay, look. If you're gonna be lame, don't stick around me too much, okay? But iron is technological hardware. Or a splat. And you guys kind of ruined my last one. Actually, you ruined both of them. So I think you owe me.
Yeah. You got us. First of all, you kidnapped a friend. And secondly,
I didn't kidnap them. They were high.
your goddamn Terminator robot was chasing us. Yeah,
Well,
we
he
fought
was-
it.
we're fucking
Well-
even.
You
I'm
broke
pretty
into
sure
my...
You kidnapped our friend. You started that whole thing. I don't want to hear it. We are even.
Brad is
at
no
this
one's
moment.
friend, first of all. He had debts.
Blaine. I'll wait. Okay, thank you. That's
So
what I
look-
thought.
Lovely. Look,
Yeah, Brad definitely wasn't the only one there, and I am friends with
Right.
Brad. I mean, kind of in a weird, loose way, but I would consider him a friend.
yeah, you would, Witchy Poo. All right.
I resemble that remark.
Yeah.
A simple
Yeah.
point in the right direction will do us just fine. We'll leave you to your splat and we will fuck right off. Thank you.
Okay, fine, but I won't put in any good words in for you with the only people that you're gonna find that get you back into meat space. Assuming that you guys didn't do it yourselves. I mean, not a hard assumption.
Keep talking.
So, Penny and I here heard that they had some upgraded tech that we could use for our Sertiman rings. You seem to be a good proof of that. Also, maybe I could find some cool cyberwares. Maybe find myself another hit mark, Marky Mark, and get back into business. It's a little harder on the streets these days. And I got customers that are begging for new fights.
Okay, so what do you want us to do? I mean, obviously you want something from us here.
You know what? I'm not quite sure the layout of this place, and if you guys opened up a hot link into here, I was wondering if I could jump on your channel backspace over there and maybe get inside myself. But also, if you guys are here, you guys are pretty handy in a fight. I've seen you guys work together. Maybe you could help me swipe some of that tech.
Yeah, I'm not helping you do that.
A lot.
You want to go through that door we just came through? Feel free.
Yeah, the problem was that we didn't want to go out of the door that we came into. I mean, so why would we want to go back there and try to basically steal the door?
Right.
Because the door will get you back into,
I mean, I get what you're saying. But
All right. Obviously, you guys didn't RTFM, so it's fine.
Didn't what?
no,
Read the
no.
fucking manual is what he just
Yeah.
said. And
Oh.
no, we didn't, because we didn't get a chance.
All right. Well, a crypter like me, I got a soft spot for some of you witchy types. So, all right, let's move on. Let's get beyond the biochop and actually get you to someplace safe, some formatted web, if you will. Just make sure we avoid the data beasts. All right.
That sounds like an excellent idea.
All right. Well, Penny, I'm sorry, babe. We're just going to have to do this another time. These guys, for all the craziness out there, they're on our side. I'd rather keep them alive than throw them to these assholes.
If
We
it's
do
any,
appreciate that, fuck
Yeah.
tussles that we are.
Yeah.
if it's
All right,
any
I guess-
consolation, since it sounds like you don't particularly like them very much, we did make a fairly big mess in their
Yeah, I heard.
meat space.
I thought this was going to be the perfect opportunity to do the incursion that I've been waiting for months.
Mm,
You saw my Sertiman ring. I had to upfigure that thing, And
yeah, we made kind of a bigger mess than it sounds like you heard.
All right. Well, hold on to your butts. Let's get a conduit going. And you see him just kind of wave in front of his, himself, his hand, and an interface shows up. It's all very geeked out. It is incredibly Tron-esque, with, large cubes. It's this weird combination of Tron and hackers tech that pops up in front of him. Even though he's wearing more modern looking icon, because he's not a total dweeb.
I would beg to differ, but go on.
Well, oh, Charlie, by the way, collect 1 paradox for your earlier teleport.
All right. We're getting deep.
How much are you at now?
8.
8. Okay. Well, you haven't done any large effects that actually collect a whole lot of paradox at once, so you're doing okay. All right, Hebos, let's get out of here. And he grabs the manifestations in front of him, and almost like a zipper, he opens up like a tent door into the reality that you are in. He's like, all right, after you.
Okay, I'll go.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow them through the door.
All
I'm
right.
grabbing Jolie and following them through the door.
All right. Hey, by the way, nice to meet you, weirdo. And you guys enter into a conduit leading out of this construct into the digital web and sectors unknown. And we will leave it there for the night.
Nay has never felt so naked. She hates this so much.
Goodness. I think Jezebel prefers shrooms,
This is like all at once very foreign and very familiar to Charlie.
Yes. And you get to run into to Winston again.
Techie Pesci. As soon as like his first line, the first words out of his face, and I'm like, oh my God, really? Really?
Yeah. You know what he looks like outside of the web. So.
Right. Well, that's why I didn't react it when you put their first icons up, and then
yeah, of course.
he opened his mouth, and it's like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, you can't hide that shit.
No. Especially when he's surprised and cursing. He starts cursing, and there's nobody else that curses like he does.
No. The knee jerker is not like that. All right. Well, yay, you guys got out of the construct.
Yeah, but is it frying pan into fire?
I don't know.
I
don't know. I mean, the digital web has got some interesting things. All right. Well,
All
if there's
right.
nothing else, is there anything else? Nothing else?
No,
Okay. Well,
it was fun tonight. I am.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I'm glad that we've been able to have this time together. Thank you, and yeah, I hope I can get you into the real world. I really do.
Yes.
Because I don't know. I don't know how you're gonna do it. Anyway,
I don't really know either, and I kind of feel like I said, this may have been a bad decision.
This is how mages go missing.
Well, technically, we have done.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we've done.
All right. Well, you guys have a great night. I'm gonna go hang out with Cammie and Stephanie, and I already ate my waffle, so oh well.
You were talking about burritos.
That's right.
Oh,
burritos.
yeah.
I'm gonna get a burrito. All right. You guys have a great night.
You too.
Night.
All right. Thanks again.